Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very special day, and I'm thrilled to have someone who's extraordinary in his profession, someone who really has reached the heights, and I listen to. I'm a fan. He's so good and so much fun to listen to, and you just can't be in the car without him. You just want to just ride with him home. He's an extraordinary radio legend and an icon radio star, Billboard's Personality of the Year. He's has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He was invited by Reagan to the White House. I mean, don't get me started. I got goosebumps already. Ladies and gentlemen, Shotgun Tom Kelly.
You worked at KFXM, did you not?
Yes, sir. And you worked at KDO. Did Tullis and her know that then?
Yeah, Howard Tellis, yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to see your picture on the survey.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And I worked at Caffey. You worked at Caffey.
I did. I worked at Caffey, yeah.
And I worked at Casey, and you worked at Casey.
God, you worked at the Boss of the Beach Radio?
Yeah, wasn't that fun?
Oh, wow. Who'd you work with over there?
Actually, it was a real short time because somebody got out of Vietnam, and I was doing weekends, and I really can't remember. But I got the job, did it for about a month, and then was asked to vacate and went to Caffey.
Wow.
So I was at Caffey for about a year. Who did you work for at Caffey?
I worked for, Dave Conley was the program director. Dave Conley used to be at Caffey or at Casey. And
Right.
So he got a chance to be program director. I don't know why anybody would want to be program director, but anyway, he did. And so he said, would you go with me? And I said, absolutely. Now, back at KACY, I was Bobby McAllister. I hated that name, man. Bill Tanner was the program director.
Right.
Yeah, Bill Tanner. Yeah.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, Bill Tanner. I walked in and I just came from KYOS in Merced and fresh out of there with my first class FCC license. And so anyway, I'm in the lobby and Bill Tanner says, hi, Bobby, how are you? I go, well, my name is Tom. No, if you're going to work here, you're going to be Bobby McAllister. Oh, God. I hated that. Yeah, I hated that name. I really did. And so anyway, I was driving to work one day. Dave Conley did the afternoon show. And so I was driving to work and I had Dave Conley on. And he goes, hey, coming up next, going to be Bobby Shotgun McAllister. And I go, wow, that dresses that name up. So I became Bobby Shotgun McAllister. And yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to use my real name, Tom Irwin, is what I wanted to use. And so anyway, Dave said, well, if you go to Caffey with me, I'll let you use your real name. And I said, well, I'm on. Let's go. So anyway, we went to Caffey. The general manager met with us and he goes, I like the name Tom, but the name Irwin sounds a little Jewish, and I'm Jewish.
I'm Jewish too.
Yeah, well, if we could just change the last name, what is your nationality? And I said, well, I'm Irish. Irish. How about Tom Kelly? And Dave said, yo, we'll revive the shotgun from Bobby Shotgun McAllister, and we'll call you Shotgun Tom Kelly. Shotgun Tom Kelly was born at Caffey. That's where I did my first television kid show in Bakersfield.
That's so cool.
KERO wanted to, and the independent grocers of Kern County wanted to have a host to do a children's show every Saturday morning on Channel 23, KERO. And so I got the job and I was on every Saturday morning as Nemo the Clown.
How did you do it? I saw the makeup and everything. How did you learn how to do all that stuff?
I didn't, and I had somebody make the girl. They hired a girl, and she was the ringmaster, and she made me up every Saturday morning. I'm sure she didn't like it, but
well, you lived one of my dreams that I never did. I would have loved to do a children's TV show. A lot of parallels.
I did two of them.
You won an Emmy for one or two Emmys.
Yeah, two Emmys for Words of Poppin', which was out of San Diego and was syndicated across the country. I was on WRTV in Indianapolis, KMGH TV in Denver, and then I was back on KERO with Words of Poppin'. And those are just some of the stations I remember. But yeah, we did 5 shows every Saturday. Well, not every Saturday, but when we did record, it was 5 shows. We did we did 3 in the morning, broke for lunch, and we did 2 in the afternoon. And each show I had to have a different set of clothes. We had a we used an audience, and so we had 5 different audiences every
Wow.
Saturday.
Today, Dirk Wool, Marianne Musser, and Randy David will compete with Jimmy Johnson, John Ford, and Kim Sproul to win fabulous prizes by playing games involving skill in forming, guessing, and changing words on the show that will stimulate your mind. Words of Poppin'. And now, here's that dynamite host on Words of Poppin', Shotgun Tom Kelly.
Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome to Words of Poppin', the All-American Game Show, where we play games with American words. Got a couple of teams of players. We're going to be competing for some really nice prizes, which Mike Ambrose is going to tell us about later on.
It's a very challenging game for kids. We had 3 games. We used mix of words for the first game. For the second game, it was kind of a hangman game like they have on Wheel of Fortune. And then the third game was find a word, but you could, like, if you go to spell cat, you had to spell it with the corresponding number. So you couldn't say CAT. You would have to say 254. What's that word? Cat. You know.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, it was an educational show. That I think it was pre-Sesame Street.
Yeah. Well,
And
no. It was after. See, that's what they wanted to do. It was a commercial version of Sesame. See, Sesame Street wasn't commercial, but
no,
Words of Poppin' was. You could sell commercials on that.
that was
Show.
a great service to children.
Yeah. And then after 5 years, I was the booth announcer at KUSI TV, and I was working at KFMB at the time.
San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego. Yeah. So anyway, the owner, Mike McKinnon, said, "Hey, you did that kid show over at Channel 10, didn't you?" I said, "Yeah." So I'm not going to spend that kind of money, but I bought a cartoon package, and I'm going to start the KUSI Kids Club. How about you being the host? And I go, "Sure, I'll do it." Oh, he's real happy about the KUSI Kids Club, and so will you be right here on KUSI TV 51 San Diego. Keep watching every morning and afternoon for your chance to meet Baby Shamu in person and find out more about our newest member of the KUSI Kids Club right here at SeaWorld. Right, Clyde? But anyway, that show lasted 12 years.
Oh, my God.
I still get grown adults coming up to me and said, "Shotgun, when I came home from school, I used to watch you on the KUSI Kids Club, and you were always a part of my childhood." So that's kind of rewarding. Charlie,
What a life. Yeah.
Charlie Tuna never liked that. You know, people would come up to him and say, "I used to listen to you on 93 KHJ," and they're grown adults, and they were teenagers when they used to listen to him, and he used to tell me he couldn't stand that. I never could understand that because
Well, it made him feel old, probably. God bless
Yeah.
him.
I guess so, but I don't care. I'm
I
just
don't
glad,
care either.
I'm glad people remember me, man.
That's it. And, I have a fan base of guys that I'm going to be 76 in July, 77. Sorry. Thank you. But there's a bunch of guys in their early 70s, including Johnny K, who used to listen to me at KFXM, and Mike, and a number of others who have actually gotten in touch with me and reconnected. And I love it, the idea that they remembered me and found me on Facebook, and I'm privileged to
Well,
do this show.
I used to whenever I'm in San Bernardino or going through, I used to listen to you too, and of course those surveys, with all the jocks that Tellis and Hearn put on, you were very prominently displayed.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm a big fan, and I'm serious. There's just, I love radio, as I read that you do too, and
Yep.
gave my life to it, and really
I'm,
focused on
I'm,
it.
I'm doing my show right now. I paused. I'm doing the Thursday show right here. This is
Okay.
this is the microphone we use for Sirius.
60s,
Yeah, 60s,
6.
60s go no 60s gold.
Okay,
Uh,
60s gold.
some marketing guy at Sirius decided to move us up to the because Elvis is on 75, the 50s is on 72. Why don't we put instead of the 60s on 6? Well, I got a tremendous idea. Take it off the 60s on 6. Let's put it on 73.
I get such a kick out of you. You know, you're a real personality. I
Thanks.
know that your idols were Wolfman Jack, as
Yeah.
mine were, and the real Don Steele, and God bless him, and a lot of other people. But you are a real superstar. I mean, who else met a president? What was that like when you met
Well,
President Reagan?
well, that was pretty cool. My congressman set that up. He wanted me to be the MC when Reagan came to uh, San Diego. And I said, I'd love to. So I was the MC. I was introducing, we were waiting for the president to get here, introducing Charlton Heston. And also Robert Stack was there. And Wayne Newton had his whole orchestra there.
Wow,
Oh yeah, it was quite a big event.
that's cool.
So anyway, I was here. Reagan came in backstage, and of course everybody knew he was here, and Secret Services all around. And so anyway, the guy that was from the White House said, "Shotgun, thank you so much. We have a tape to introduce the president." I go, "Oh wow! I don't get to introduce him." And you're not going to believe who was on Air Force One with him.
Ooh,
I would have loved to have met this man along with Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan and Nancy
oh.
brought Frank Sinatra on Air Force
Oh
One.
my gosh. Holy cow.
And so I was asked to stand over by the chief of police, who I knew, Bill Collender. I said, "Hey, Bill, come on, man, you got to get us backstage, at least backstage." He says, and he had a list. He goes, "Oh shit, I got no jurisdiction around here. See that guy over there with a hand in the purse?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "He's got his trigger finger on an Uzi. He'll shoot first, ask questions later." So anyway, you're probably wondering, well, you did go to the White House, and you were in the Oval Office, and you did meet Mr. Reagan, yes.
And he wore the hat.
And he wore that. That is a very. How many presidents would put on a
0.
Yeah, right. Even Kennedy, when he was in Texas, they gave him a cowboy hat, and he wouldn't put it on, if you remember. But anyway, so my congressman said, "Where are you? Get back up on stage." I said, "They told me to get over here." He said, "I'll tell you what, I'm going to fix this up. You're going to go to the White House. We're going to walk into the Oval Office, and you're going to give the president one of your hats. Can you do that?" I said, "Sure." So I ordered one from Stetson Hat Company. They had his hat size, and it took a couple of months. And so my visit for the president was approved. I flew back to DC, and Duncan Hunter and I went over to the White House, and we were standing outside the Oval Office, ready to see Mr. Reagan. Anyway, we go through that thick, seamless door that we've all seen. And so we walk in. Mr. Reagan is behind the Resolute desk. He gets up from the Resolute desk, and he walks over to the shell bookcase. Well, he's been briefed. He knows my name.
Ooh.
So he says, "Well, Shotgun, I understand that you were the MC and kept the people entertained while they're waiting for me in San Diego." And I said, "Yes, Mr. President, I did. And I bring you this trademark Ranger hat of mine, and I hope you'll put it on." He goes, "Well, put it on." Click. That's the picture you see.
Fantastic. And it's up on the screen right now.
Okay.
It's incredible. I don't know any other disc jockey ever that has met a president and twice now and done what you've done. That's really amazing. Amazing story.
Well, Elvis met Nixon.
Yeah, but you're the Elvis of DJs, I guess.
Okay,
That
I guess.
means, you know,
Well, that's my my Reagan shot that you just saw. That's I guess that's my Elvis thing, But
it's pretty
only
cool.
only with the great communicator. By the
And
way,
go
you're
ahead.
always you're when you meet the president, I was told is going to be a strict 5 minutes, and they had a camera there recording all this stuff, and so I started talking about broadcasting,
Oh, yeah.
and oh, that he just lit up. He says, "Well, shotgun. I used to recreate the bowl games when I was in radio, and we used to take the teletype and recreate the bank games because the radio station couldn't afford to send the announcers along with the team. You probably don't remember that." I said, "Well, Mr. President, I absolutely do because in San Diego they had a couple of guys, Al Schuss and Al Coupe, who used to recreate the Padre games when they were away. So I know." Oh, he said, "Well, from where I speak." I said, "Yes." So he told me that whole story. Then we started talking about different microphones and the White House guy was, uh, you know, we spent 10 minutes with the president. It was great, and he just couldn't stop talking about radio I remember the last words he said to me. He says, "Well, shotgun, when I was at Paramount Pictures, we had a makeup artist, and his name was Shotgun." I said, "Well, that's great. It was great meeting you again. Thank you for putting on my hat. Thank you, Mr. President." And then we walked out.
I saw a video of you on Sirius, and you have no commercials, but you're just super smooth and going through the music and popping in your little one-liners and your sound effects and all your really funny stuff. Is the degree of difficulty higher, or is working at a station like K Earth where you got promos and spots and the news and the weather and the traffic, is that more difficult?
No, no. As a matter of fact, uh, at K Earth when I was there is very highly formatted, as you know. And you're right. I had traffic. I had commercials to play. We gave away trips to Hawaii and different things. I had those to record, and so it was very well formatted. There was a formula there, and there is somewhat of a formula on Sirius XM, 60s Gold Channel 73. Uh, but what I was at K Earth for like 20 years, as you know. Uh,
Congratulations, by the way.
I know I couldn't believe. I mean, can you a radio job for 20 years?
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, no kidding. I lucked out.
Well, your
Uh,
talent, talent does do some things. And if you're smart and work real hard and you're passionate, I think that's what happens. Congratulations.
well, plus Dan Mason liked me too in New York City. So every 3 years he would renew my contract,
That's
which was
nice.
it's helpful to have the president of CBS Radio like you. So and of
And
course,
you performed.
yeah, yes, I did, and of course Johnny K.
Oh God, what a great
Just
guy.
terrific. Johnny K was brought in to fire me.
What?
Yeah, they wanted to get a Hispanic on instead of me.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Johnny being a suit, he wouldn't do it, and of course, Dan Mason wouldn't let him do it. So between Dan Mason and Johnny K, I was able to stay.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Wow.
that
That would
would
have
have
been
been
a
a
big
mistake.
mistake.
I thought so too, and so did Johnny. But that's why I love him so much, man. And not only was he a great programmer, but he's just a great guy.
Yes.
Well, Johnny was influential uh, when I said I'd kind of like to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He said, "Okay," and he put it into action. And so it took 3 years to get it, but I finally got it. Now the question was about Sirius XM. I drift off sometimes. Uh, K Earth was very formulated, and you had to do certain things. But what I like about Sirius XM is they give me freedom. I get look at these emails that I mean, these are emails that came in, and just by regular people and our listeners. I say, well, you hear me on I probably at nauseum give out, hey, if you want to have a feel good song, got a birthday, got an anniversary, get a hold of me at shotguntomkelly.com. Click on the first picture you come to. On that picture, there's the word contact. If you click on that, an email opens up, and then write me what you want. So people have done that, and I get them over and over again. As a matter of fact, this guy wanted to hear My Way by Frank Sinatra. So I'm going to play that for him. I had a lady from Norway. She's in Norway, man. And
Cool.
she's on vacation, and she's in her hotel room listening to the app. It's not the satellite, the app. So they really that, and if you're in Hawaii, our satellite doesn't go to Hawaii, but I've had people in Hawaii listen on the app, and that app is really great.
Well, it's the next step after satellite. It's going to be
Yeah.
streaming on apps on cell phones everywhere,
Yeah, it is.
or your computer.
Yep.
So you're way ahead of the thing, and it's still radio to me. I don't care. You can call it satellite, you can call it streaming. It's radio. So tell me a story about a promotion that you did. Something I know you're involved with a lot of charities, and you've raised money and put your name on a lot of charity events and at cause promotions. What's one of your favorite success stories that in your life in radio or satellite that you've done and that you're really most proud of?
Well, for 35 years in San Diego, when I was at KCBQ, B100, KFMB, I did the Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. See, that's when I was doing the kid show. That's how I started that. I started the kid show in 1974 at KGTV, ABC 10. And so Dick Alderson was the field director for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. He said, I want you to be our backyard carnival spokesman, because Jerry Lewis was really big into clowns. And so at the time, and so he asked a lot of his co-hosts, which I was one, to be the backyard carnival host. And I would go, these kids would have send away for a carnival kit, and then we'd have their little backyard circus. And Shotgun Tom would show up once in a while. I had a list of people that I did every weekend. And we always would go every year to Las Vegas to get our picture taken with Jerry Lewis. Now, my picture was featured with him at all the 7-Eleven stores. It was me and Jerry blown up really big at every 7-Eleven store in San Diego. And so every year, all us telethon hosts and co-hosts would meet in Las Vegas at the Sahara Hotel. And so I think I was 5 years into the charity. And so I was in the elevator at the Sahara, and guess who walks in? Jerry Lewis. Well, this is my opportunity, and you're not supposed to talk in the elevator, but I did. And
Of course.
So Jerry's got his golf clubs, and he just wants to be left alone, I'm quite sure. So I said, Mr. Lewis, we're raising a lot of money in San Diego. And so when I got through talking about the charity, I told him about my hobby. And I said, I collect outtakes, and I've got an outtake of you and Dean Martin doing the caddy. I don't want to hear about it. Don't ever bring that up again. The door opens. He walks out. Bob Ross, what's going on? So anyway, he got really pissed. And so anyway, my wife, Linda, and I are waiting. There's a luncheon meeting, right? And there's Jerry Lewis on the dais. He comes off the dais, and he's coming to me. I got the Ranger. I'm a little hard to miss. And so he's coming directly at me, and I'm saying to Linda, I says, "Oh, here comes Jerry Lewis. I pissed him off in the elevator. He's gonna throw me out of here, man." So anyway, now he knew my name, and he goes, "Shotgun, I want to apologize. What happened in the elevator? Please forgive me." And he gave me a big. You brought out something that had a very sensitive nerve, and he gave me a big Hollywood hug. And from that point on, he would never forget who I was. So every year
Dennis,
after, yeah.
so tell me something about radio that surprised you at some time in your life. You said, wow, I can't believe this is happening. Even way back when you started in Merced, when you were 10 years old and you decided you want to be a DJ and got on the air with whoever was doing that remote invited you in and did an interview with you.
Oh, you've done your homework, I see.
Of
That was
course.
that was Frank Thompson at KOGO. I was 10 years old, and my mother's the one that got me into radio. She loved listening to radio.
My mother
And
too.
yeah, she's from Nebraska. Her favorite radio station in Nebraska was Coil. Remember
Oh
Coil?
yeah, big
And
station.
so she moved out here, and so she loved listening to KOGO because this guy Frank Thompson would be in this trailer, and he would be doing his show all around San Diego, and I would follow that trailer around. But I remember I came home from school one day, and my mother said, "Tommy, there's a man. His name is Frank Thompson, and he's broadcasting on KOGO, and he's putting people on the air. Why don't you go down and see if he'll put you on the air?" So I said, "Okay, Mom." I had no idea that I wanted to be on the air.
God bless her.
So anyway, yeah, God bless her. So I got on my bike and I went down there and I looked in this trailer, and Frank had two turntables and a microphone, and he was on the air. And I got to tell you something, I was totally fascinated,
Oh yeah.
absolutely fascinated. So anyway, I'm looking through the window, and he goes, "On the Frank Thompson show here on the Kogo mobile unit. I see a young man out here. Come on in here, young man. What's your name?" "Oh, my name is Tom." "What school do you go to?" "St. John of the Cross Catholic School." "Well, Tom, I've got 4 tickets to see the LA T-Birds when they come to Westgate Park." So he gave me those tickets, and I thought he gave me $1 million. But
He did.
anyway, I know. So I went home and I built my own little radio station in my bedroom with extension speakers, and that's how I hurried myself into this business.
And the FCC caught up with you. I heard you had a little
Oh,
pirate radio station going on.
that's
Tell me
right.
more. I want to
You
hear
have
that story.
you've definitely done your homework.
Oh yeah, baby. Of
Oh,
course.
you don't mess around, man. You do a little show prep, don't you?
Well, this is
Anyway,
serious.
so anyway, yeah. The extension speakers got boring. I had speakers from my house, the house next door, and the house across the street, and I wanted more than just 3 listeners. So a friend of mine, Wes Owen, he said, "Hey, I've got this transmitter that I built on top of a cigar box."
What?
And yeah, he had all these little components on an upside down cigar box. And then we had this big power supply that was not on the
How old were you?
um 12, 12,
Oh
13.
my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Go ahead.
So
I'm
anyway,
sorry I interrupted you.
no, that's okay. I was hanging around KDEO, that Chellis and Hearn station, and they'd let me go in the production room, and I'd get to make tapes. So we'd get these tapes and we'd run them on our little Sony tape recorder and through the transmitter. And I may have been 16 because we used to drive around in the car
Listen.
and listen to see how far we got. We were on 840, a Mexican frequency, but
Yes.
we were only on at night because if you're on in the daytime, you're gonna, get a chance to get busted. So we were only on at night, and so mom and dad, "Hey, look at our son. He's staying out of trouble. He's not committing local crime. He's committing." They didn't realize I was committing federal crime.
Big time.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to get out more. So my friend Rick was up on a hill, and I had the wrong idea. AM doesn't need to be high on a hill, but what do I know? So he was high on a hill. So we and he didn't like to be on the air. He was more of a technical guy. So anyway, I'm in study hall. I'm Mount McGill High School, and I'm listening to. I wonder if anybody's on 8:40. And oh, wait a minute. I hear Stevie Wonder. Oh, geez, the Mexicans have taken over the frequency. What am I going to do? Oh, what are we going to do? So anyway, then my voice comes on. It's me introducing Stevie Wonder on that tape in the middle of the day. Oh, I'm going, oh, geez, this is dangerous. So anyway, I get home. I get a call from Rick. He says, hey, the FCC was here, and they told my mom and dad that I have violated the Communications Act of 1934, which is punishable by 5-year imprisonment and $10,000 fine. The old man was pissed. He went out with a sledgehammer and just broke everything up.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, they had a hearing. The FCC had a hearing, and they let us off with a warning. But they said, if you're going to be in broadcasting, you have to get a license. And that's when I got my 3rd-class license.
Shotgun, before you leave, tell us about your Ranger hat.
One moment, please. I'll be right back. Okay. The hat started at KCBQ back in 1970. And wait a minute. Maybe it started at Caffey in Bakersfield. Okay, but I brought it to KCBQ. And people say, well, how'd you come up with the hat? Well, we used to go on camping trips to Yosemite and Sequoia. And when I was 8 years old, I had a hat, and I put the dents in it like this. And I have a picture of me standing next to Smokey the Bear with my Smokey the Bear hat. I really admired the Rangers, so I love their hats. So here is a picture that was blown up by the guy who sold me my first transmitter. He's really into, making pictures better. He took a black and white snapshot that had creases in it. And I remember when they'd have the date on there.
Yes.
And I said, Wes, can you blow this up? Can you improve it? Because it was really bad quality. And he's got all this computer stuff to improve bad film. He created a big picture of me from that little black and white. Not only did he actually colorized it, and it looks like this.
Thank you, Shotgun Tom Kelly. You are the greatest, and I'm thrilled to have had you as my guest. It's a feather in my cap.
Oh,
and
man.
You're a super talent and one of my favorite people to listen to on the radio.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you for being here.
All right.